This is a very special review. This is gonna be something we're gonna do that's just bonus. So again, we're reviewing the show called Skinny vs. Penny. I've been reviewing it for fucking 2 weeks now, right? And why is this bonus is because I said I wouldn't do the Christmas episode. That's not it. That's not it at all. My back is itching, right? It's more about I fucking love this. It's who the black people like more. And yeah, super cancelable, weird, really fucking weird. Again, I don't think this show should exist, but it does exist. Why am I saying bonus is because now this episode is deleted from YouTube, it's deleted from everything because it's gonna get canceled. I should learn better and not do this, but hey, we're still gonna do it because fuck it, right? So it's Kenny and Spenny. They meet three black guys, and yo, shout out to the black guys, the three of them, for being like understanding that this is a fucked up show and still being open minded and still giving the guys two chances. You got Spenny, who's super. He works really fucking hard to get the guys to like him, and he goes to a retreat where we're talking about racism. We're talking about races. Spenny is like he's like, well, I don't have really any black friend, right? And does that mean I'm racist? And there's one of the guy, the youngest too, and he says no, it's just because you think you have more in common with other people who are Jew because you're sharing a religion. He said that you might have more in common with people, more interests in common, right? It's not because you don't have a black friend that you're racist. It's one of the other one, the other three guys. That's one that's really quiet, right? So when I'm talking about the three of them, I'm talking about basically two, and the older one is like it's like, nah, Jeff's street best friend now, and it's really cool. Spenny goes and dress up as a KKK member, and it's like, yo, he's trying to make fun, and the guy's like, that this is not real. This is was real before. Now there's neo-Nazi right now, but the racism was a lot worse. I don't know. I don't know. I bounced off for racism, so maybe it is still a thing. Maybe it is still something, and. I mean, I understand why you're getting canceled this episode. I understand that the subject that we're talking about is very sensitive, but I think it's a discussion that we need to have. And I mean, it's a episode I relate to a lot. We also talk about racism. We also talk about privilege. We also talk about how it's a different it's a different reality. But we don't talk a lot about exchanging and talking about racism. Spenny, he's really trying to understand, right? And it sucks because I know spoiler, Spenny lose, but yeah, he really did try. In fact, I gotta give shout out. He actually did like a retreat for the boys. Kenny goes and he does a comedy show. I think Kenny is and this show is really brilliant. He's trying to be like he's trying to be himself around the guys. He even makes some joke about when he shake their hand, he needs a plural. He plays up the part of being racist. He plays up the part of a comedy show where he does black joke, he does Jew joke. Right? He invite the guys on scene on the stage to make black joke, and I think this is what racism. I don't want to say this is how we ran racism because I'll never understand it until I'm a victim of it. But I do understand and I do get the fact that humor might be one of the cure to racism, right? And it sucks because if we talk about racism, I have to talk about one of my. I, I think that a lot of the racism is inherent. It's like your parents were racist, so I don't think that if your parents are racist, you're gonna be a racist yourself. But if you're raised with racist value, you're gonna have racist value. I think it's a toxic cycle. I think we yes, I understand there's racism. I live in Montreal. It's multicultural, so I probably saw it and I didn't even realize it. And what I'm saying right now is two guys they're trying to tackle a advice and they both have their I'm always talking about how Kenny and Spenny are different, yes, but it's really really weird. You see, this is the second two episode part, so I'm gonna make a bigger video. It's weird because I think Kenny Spenny had good okay, so I think like in all episodes, I think with watching the success season, I think Kenny usually have a better execution and Penny have better intention, right? He's trying to do something that's gonna be mean something, sort of. And Kenny's like, yo, guess what? I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna make a humor. But there's also the fact that we learned that Spenny had a black maid, and again, this is such a beautiful moment because yes, he had a black maid, and it's an icky subject. But Spenny said, "I loved her. I loved her like a mom. She was everything to me," and having a black maid made Spenny more likely not to be racist because he cared about a black woman. I understand that for a lot of people this is icky situation, but I mean again, it's the result, right? That matters. Nobody remember the route. We remember the results. Ugh. I mean, again, it's hard for me to talk about this because I don't understand the reality. I don't understand racism, and for the fourth time this very video, until I face it, I'm not gonna be understanding of it. So it's a hard episode to analyze. It's a hard episode to see. You know. Mm. Oof. You see, it's a heavy subject. Kenny does. It's a brilliant show, especially this episode, because this episode really made me think. Right, you're talking about again, Spenny has had a black maid, so it could be racist, but it's not racist. So again, the very definition. I think this episode, what it missed is the definition of racism. Kenny dressed up as a black maid to put Spenny in a bad mood, but actually wanted to use the footage of him being a black maid. And Kenny has a black maid, and it's like, yo, I'm gonna understand. In reality, he wants some footage of the black maid, and he's gonna replace Spenny reaction with his costume. So we have the we have the real black maid who's doing work, and we have Kenny who's doing a blackface. I think that's why the show was canceled too. In this episode, Kenny does blackface, so right, you know, cool. But it's a different time. It's a different reality. Kenny is like, yo, I'm gonna have a maid. He's gonna film the maid. He's gonna be replacing the real maid with Kenny as the black person, right? And then you have the reaction of Sunny insulting Kenny because he hates Kenny, mix up, and Kenny wins because because the guys are choosing. Kenny loses because the guys are choosing Kenny, and it's hard because I don't have a humiliation. It's been too long, but again, this episode really made me think. This episode really brought us some discussion. So the fact that we had to talk about it, the fact that we had this two Jewish people who arguably Jews are very are a big victim of racism. So talk about a colored racism versus a religious racism, and it's completely different. But though they face racism, I didn't. So me coming in and saying, analyzing this and understanding this and being like, yo, I totally understand racism. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's about it. We have. I didn't write the humiliation because I didn't know what it was. Cool, 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 cool. Nice. Nice. Nice, nice. Love it.